Crisis is a magnificent teacher. The question is, are leaders and managers of businesses and organizations today great students? G'day everybody. Just thought I'd take the opportunity to share with you some thoughts that I've been having as I've been working here in my home office today. My business has already been set up for me to work remotely, for my clients to work remotely, and for me to work remotely with my clients. So I think that's really important, as a lot of you are now being almost forced or thrust into remote working scenarios and situations. And a couple of key things I wanted to be able to share with people around the concept of, how to maintain business continuity while you have people working remotely. So a couple of key things that I've shared with my clients that I'd like to share with you. The first thing is, do not lose your meeting rhythm cadence that you have for your organization. Once you have all your safety protocols and everything that's in place based on the current pandemic that we're dealing with at the moment, please make sure you keep your meeting rhythm, your business rhythm and cadence happening in your organization. One of the coolest things that you can be doing right now, if you haven't already been doing them, is daily huddles. The power of daily huddles is underestimated. When you have everybody in the office, obviously it's quite easy. You just get everybody around in their teams, and everyone just takes an opportunity to go around the room and share, what are their priorities for the day, what they're working on, any challenges they have, any need for resources or support or assistance. And then everybody can give feedback to that person. Then everybody goes around the room, and then everybody all agrees on that is what everyone's going to be working on. Everyone breaks and they get on with their day. So having those daily huddles is important. But how do you do that now in a remote scenario? So there's a lot of really cool things you can be doing. There's a lot of free platforms also that you could be using right now to support daily huddles. You can use like a Slack channel, or if your organization uses something like Yammer, which is the back end of Microsoft 365, you could set up a Facebook group and have all your employees join a Facebook group and have everybody just go around the room and put in what they're working on. So you can maintain the concept of a daily huddle. Will it be actually done differently? Yeah, sure. We're all doing things differently now. Some of us by design, some of us are just, like I said, being thrust or forced upon us to make these changes. But the opportunity is there to still maintain the concept of daily huddles. So keeping everyone focused today, and also dealing with anyone's situations. Let's face it, we're in a very ever-evolving landscape right now. So people's mindsets, their headspace, what their fears, concerns, we need to be talking about these and addressing these daily. So now's the chance to do that, and to make sure you're maintaining the regular communication with your team about that. Maintain that business continuity, maintain those meeting rhythms. The daily huddles is a perfect thing to start with. If you're going to have your weekly, say, leadership meeting, you should continue to have a weekly leadership meeting. You can use Zoom, Skype, GoToMeeting, all these cool platforms, and get everybody online and still discuss the same agenda that you would normally discuss. There is no reason for you to stop doing the things that you do to maintain the cadence and continuity of your business. You just might need to find a different way to be able to do them. Keep up your meetings daily, weekly. Hopefully this doesn't go on for monthly, but you can still do that. The platform that I work with our clients on here is based on an online platform. So we provide weekly accountability, so I can still do that online. The face-to-face monthly coaching or quarterly intensives, I can now do that through Zoom or GoToMeetings, whichever way I want. I still have the ability to do that. We have some events coming up. A lot of events have been canceled or postponed. I totally understand and respect that as well. But there's the ability to run a webinar, do a live stream like this. So there's a lot of different options that we have. The main thing again, though, is maintain that business continuity, maintain the cadence, maintain the rhythm, keep going. How do we generate new leads, and how do we onboard new clients when we can't have that face-to-face personal connection with people, theoretically, with social distancing and various things like that happening? It was, again, the power of a webinar, bringing some people into that, talking through clients of that, having the Zoom call again. There's different ways we're just going to have to do it, people. And the sooner you embrace those different ways, the sooner you can get on with keeping your business moving. Now, I respect that there's a whole bunch of businesses out there that are going to struggle with this. A couple of our friends own gyms. Now, people aren't going to go into the gym as much, possibly, or suspend their memberships. So how do you sign up new members to your gym if you can't do that? So some other things you should be thinking about doing possibly right now is looking at producing some content, like produce some really valuable content, or build an online training program that you could build for people on how to work out in their home. You could either charge a fee or provide it for free. It's totally up to you. We need to start looking at doing things differently. Get onto that. Do some online content. Charge for it, don't charge for it. Do a webinar, an online training program. Just produce content. Do live streams. Engage people. Get them to come in. Keep talking. Keep dialoguing with your clients or your potential clients. A critical thing for us to do right now. A couple of things that I've also sent to my clients. Key things to remember is now is a chance to catch up on all that backlog, all that stuff you haven't been doing for so long. I've been taking the opportunity to produce more live streams. I've been taking the opportunity to cut a whole bunch of videos that I've done in the past. So now I've been able to cut and chop them, and I'm putting up a lot more content. I've been able to get a lot of that done. I've also been able to have some meetings. I've been having meetings now online with a few potential service providers as I'm planning out what my business is going to look like, in another month or 2 months' time. I'm using this chance here to have meetings that I've been putting off for a long time. So I'm looking at ways to fill that. So backlog, new meetings, strategizing the new way forward, create more content. Here's a real crazy idea. Why don't you just review every single process, policy, procedure you have in your organization? Now's the time to run it through the lens of how we're dealing with things and find new ways to do that. There's so much we could be doing right now. Some of it will help to continue to drive existing revenue. Some could drive new revenue. Some of it might be just to have yourself positioned well for when everything returns back to somewhat normal, or the new normal, or business as unusual as it may be going forward into the future. But the worst thing that you can do right now is contract. The worst thing you can do right now is go into scarcity mindset. The worst thing you can do right now is portray a message of fear. We all need to be calm. Don't be stupid. Don't be cavalier. Don't be crazy. But be calm. Be the leader. Let your team know. Over communicate. Find new ways to do things. Trust your people. Use your values. Values now should have always been, but now more than ever, if you've got people working remotely, you should be making sure that you've empowered them to make smart decisions so that they know how we think around here, not what to think, but how we think around here, so they know how to behave even though they're not in your office. So they're still part of the culture, and we need to make sure and they're still making decisions within that framework and supporting them through that. And once again, if you keep those meeting cadence and rhythms happening, you'll be able to make sure that that's happening. If you find ways online to track productivity and keep everybody aligned, you're going to be able to do that as well. So there's so much we could be doing right now. If there's anything I could do, if you want an idea, if you want to brainstorm, just put a comment below and say, Dave, hey, can you have a quick chat with me about whatever? We'll set up a time. I'll have a call with you over the phone. We'll do a go-to meeting, whatever it is that you want to do. If I can be of support to you, brainstorm some ideas, which I've done with a few people. I already had a coffee meeting, actually a socially distanced coffee meeting with somebody today, and gave her some really great ideas about what she could be doing right now. And then she's off creating content and doing a whole bunch of stuff that she hadn't thought about doing. So please, there's a whole bunch of people out there offering free services and resources. We are all in this together. Do not lose the rhythm and cadence of your business. Keep the continuity going. Keep your team involved. Keep them communicated so everybody knows what's going on. Trust them. Allow them to show you that they have the ability to work from home, because you never know when all this is said and done, at the end, you may have just found a whole new business operating model that allows your employees to reduce their commuting time, to be more productive, let's say produce higher results, and have a better lifestyle and be more engaged and more happy about working in your organization. Because if you'd never let them do it before, but you've been forced to do it now, perhaps going through this, you don't have to go back to the way it was. You could find a blended solution. I think there's going to be so many tremendous things that are going to come out of this pandemic that we're dealing with. And as I've said before, crisis is a magnificent teacher. The question is, are leaders and managers of businesses and organizations today great students?